Hi, I'm Sasha Blottoff. Most people call me Tim. I do a lot of nucleic acid purification. And when I do, I use the KingFisher Flex. Matter of fact, I like it so much, I put it on my body. Check it out, it's natural. Go ahead, feel it. Hi, I'm Tim Barta, and I'm a member of the R&D group in Austin, Texas, and I'm going to show you the installation of the KingFisher Flex. Our Flex that we're going to look at is already unpackaged. It comes in a box this size. The Flex itself is 62 pounds or 26 kilograms, so it's a two-man lift. The weight is not distributed equally. It's heavier on this side than it is this side, so be aware of that when you remove it from the package. The requirements for placing the instrument is that you have a flat, clean, dry surface, minimal dust, air currents, and probably it's recommended to have about 10 centimeters all the way around the instrument to allow it to cool properly. These are the accessories that come in the box with the instrument. I've laid them out here. Like I said, it's already been unpackaged. The instrument's already been in use. But you get a bag full of different cords, your serial data cord, your USB data cord comes in there, your different power cords for different parts of the world. You have a box of consumables, which is ideal for running tests. To show that the instrument is operational after installation. In our case, we have these three different heat blocks. You have the standard heat block, the Deep Well 96, and the Deep Well 24. The 24 Deep Well heat block. We have two different heads. We have the 96 Deep Well head and the 24 Deep Well head. Also, you have a shield plate that will need to be installed and some very small screws that come with that. And you have a hexagonal screwdriver, better known as an Allen wrench, with a handle on it. You also receive in the package the transparent lid. Real quick on the instrument itself, here you have basically the keypad, the display screen. In this case, we've already named our instrument here. We name it OMG Mag. The proper way to say that is OMG Mag. So if you want to refer to that, your instrument will not have that on there though. Your keypad, you have selection arrows here, or navigation arrows up and down, left and right. You have an OK button for selecting what you highlight on the screen. You have a start button, a pause, stop, and then you have two buttons that allow you to rotate the turntable. In this area of the instrument, we've got the turntable. It's where all the action happens, mostly right over here. You have your plate, your positions where your plates go. You have your head support, your tip comb support. You got your shield plate bracket, and you also have, or you see these two tags that are hanging out. They're caution tags, reminding you to remove the transport blocks before use. Matter of fact, don't even power the instrument up. Don't even stick any power onto the instrument. Don't plug it in, basically. Until you get these removed. The first thing in removing the transport block is to remove the tip comb holder transport block. It's a fairly large screw. It's got a knurled head on it. It's very easy, very simple. Just go in there and rotate it counterclockwise until it completely removes from the instrument. The screw's large enough that you're not going to probably drop it. Hang on, when you're pulling it out, hang on to this tab here this tape, and you're not going to drop it. See? Next, we want to remove the heat block transport lock. We'll do that with our trusty hexagonal screwdriver. This is a little more tricky. You look down in there, you see there's a very tiny screw. Just gently insert the hexagonal Allen wrench portion. Counterclockwise, again, hold on to the tape so you don't lose your screw. The heat block, once it's loose, the heat block will rise up a little bit. It'll release. You'll feel it. And then gently pull out the screw. Notice the screw is still attached to the tape, so very little chance that you're going to lose it or drop it. Now we need to install the shield plate. Install it in such an orientation that the shiny surface is facing up. You have two little screws that you need to install. One of the tricky things here is that those screws are very small and prone to be dropped. My little trick of the trade is to shove a chem wipe or something of the sort in there. You can even take a piece of tape, and secure down your chem wipe. Shazam. Now if you drop that screw, it's unlikely to go in down underneath the turntable. Essentially you're screwed then. No pun intended. So this is a nice trick of the trade here, a little field trick. We take our screw, our first one, take our little shield plate, you place it under the bracket, align the holes. Very simple, very easy, until you drop one of the screws. See? Whoop! Oh, I dropped it. See, oh, look at that. Well, good thing I had that there. It helps to put the hexagonal end of your screwdriver into the screw and guide it into the hole. Careful not to cross thread this. That wouldn't be optimal either. Just snug them down. Don't be cranking on them. I'm going to strip out that head. There you go. Be gentle with it. It'll treat you well then.
That's for coffee? Looks like a coffee table.
It's not for coffee. Okay. Now what we want to do is power it up. First thing is to insert your power cable on the sort of the right side of the instrument here, the back side. There's a location for the power cable to go in. You also have your serial port there, your data serial port, and then you have a USB. That's where you would put your USB data cable into if you need, when you connect to your laptop. Make sure your instrument, the main on-off button is off before you power it up, or connect it to a power supply. And then always practice safe electricity and plug it into something that's properly grounded. Now we're going to turn the instrument on. Flip the main power switch, the instrument initializes and starts to boot up. You notice that the head bracket and the tip comb bracket are positioning themselves. Got a little activity there with the shield plate, some up and down action. I wonder if that would play a record. Alright, now we want to install the heat block. In this case, we're going to install the 96 deep well head, and so we'll install the appropriate 96 well, deep well heat block. To do this, you use the software on the instrument to help you install it. Take your navigational buttons here, your arrow, go from the factory install protocols and go over to the maintenance. Protocols. Scroll down to the bottom. You see that little wrench. Maintenance protocols. Select OK. And then the first protocol is change heat block. That's the one we want. So we'll press start. When we press start, the heat block will raise up, so it's easily accessible to install the heat block of your choice. In this case, there's 4 pins. Well, in most cases, in all cases actually, there's 4 pins on the heat block. Simply lines up with the 4 holes on this surface. Very simple, very easy. Press down with a little bit of force. It snaps into place, and that's it. To remove it, you would simply just pull up, and it pops off. That's it. Once you have that heat block in position and it's secure, hit start again to continue. The heat block basically lowers down. Now we're going to install the head. The head is by going into the maintenance protocols again. We're going to select change magnet or change head. The heads are all interchangeable, so it doesn't reference a particular type of head. We'll select start. You see some action there. Now it's prompting us to put the head on. Like I mentioned, we're going to use a 96 deep well head. These heads are very strong, permanent magnets. Be careful when handling them. Always store them when they're off the instrument in the case, the proper case. Don't be putting them toward or near. Somebody has a pacemaker, they shouldn't be working with this instrument. Don't be putting them near credit cards and other, like CD discs and things of that nature. Again, handle them very carefully. This, again, a simple installation. There's 3 pins orient the magnet, so the 2 pins are to the rear and the 1 pin in the center is to the front. You're aligning to these slots on the head support. Make sure when you insert this that you clear the tip comb holder. Don't run the magnets into the tip comb holder. You're going to be sorry that you did. There's a good chance they'll break. So just bring it up, your pins, align them to the slots. When they're all aligned, then just gently push back and it snaps into place. Removing it, same thing. Grasp it firmly, and pull out. That's how it's done. One thing about this is don't be inserting screwdrivers into these set pins and rotating them and trying to adjust them. They're preset to give the right tension to keep the head in place. Okay, done with that. You got your head installed. Double check it to make sure it's secure. Then press start when you feel confident everything's in place. We're going to put the transparent lid on. You don't have to put this on, but it does help keep the elements of the environment out, little air currents, dust, and such. It's just these tabs around the lid. You just align them to the tabs on the turntable frame. Very simple, and of course very easy. You can run the instrument with the door open or shut. Finally, you want to do an operational check to make sure that you put together everything properly. This is done by going back to the maintenance protocols. You want to go down, scroll all the way down to the bottom where the wrench is, select that, and you want to go to check tip, whatever tip, the appropriate tip that you have in there. So we have a 96 deep well tip in there. I'm going to scroll down to that, and then I'm going to select start to start the run. In this case, I already have a pre-assembled deep well, 96 deep well plate with the appropriate tip comb. I'm going to drop it in. My A1 well is to the back and right. I don't need to close the door, but I'm just going to do it for effect. And then press start, and the instrument will go through a check. And there you have it. The instrument prompts you to remove the tip and plate. Press start, and it finishes, and now you're ready to do nucleic acid purification on your new KingFisher Flex, or in our case, OMG Mag.